I, Robert. One man saw it coming. Isaac Asimov. 12 hours later, sleep was still just that, a matter of principle, unattainable in practice. The storm had arrived ahead of us camp. Donovan's florid face drained the blood as he pointed a shaking finger. Pavel, stubble-jawed and dry-lipped, stared out the port and pulled desperately at his mustache. Under other circumstances, it might have been a beautiful sight, the stream of high-speed electrons impinging upon an energy beam flourished into ultra-specules of intense light. The beam stretched out into shrinking nothingness, gilt with dancing, shining mote. The shaft of energy was steady, but the two Earthmen knew the value of naked eye appears. Deviations in arc of hundreds of milliseconds invisible of the eye were enough to send the beam widely out of focus, enough to blast hundreds of square miles on Earth into incandescent ruin. And the robot, unconcerned with the beam focus or us or anything but his master, was the controls. Hours passed. The Earthman watched hypnotized silence, and then the dartlet of light dimmed and went out. The storm had ended. Fire voice was flat. It's over. Donovan had fallen into a troubled slumber, and Powell's weary eyes rested upon his enviously. The signal flashed glad over and over again, but the Earthman paid no attention. It's world unimportant. Or perhaps Cutie was right, and he was warmed the inferior being made to water memory and life that had outlived its purpose. He whispered Hewa. Cutie was standing before him. You don't answer the flash, so I walked in. His voice was low. You don't look at all well, and I'm afraid your term of existence is drawing to an end. Still, would you like to see some of the readings recorded today? Dimly, Powell was aware of that Robert was making a friendly gesture, perhaps to quit some lingering remorse in possibly replacing the woman at the control of the station. He accepted the seat held out to him, gazed at them unseeing. Cutie seemed pleased. Of course, it's a great privilege to serve the master. You mustn't feel too badly about my having replaced you. Powell grunted and shifted from one seat to the other mechanically until his blurred sight focused upon a thin red line that wobbled its way across the ruled paper. He stared and stared again. He gripped it hard in both fists and rose in his feet, still staring. The other seats dropped to the floor unheeded. Mike, Mike, he was shaking the other madly. He held it steady. Donovan came to life. What? Where? And he too gazed with bulging eyes at the record before him. Cutie broke in. What's wrong? You kept it in focus, stuttered Pavel. Did you know that? Focus? What's that? You kept the beam directed sharply at the receiving station to within 10,000ths of a millisecond of arc. What receiving station? On Earth. The receiving station on Earth. Babbled Pavel. You kept it in focus. Cutie turned on his heel in annoyance. It's impossible to perform any act to kindness toward you too. Always the same phantasm. I merely kept all attire at equilibrium in accordance with the will of the master. Gathering the scattered paper together, he withdrew stiffly, and Donovan said, and he laughed, "Well, I'll be damned." He turned to Pavel. "What are you going to do now?" Pavel felt tired and unlipped. "Nothing. He just shown he can run the station perfectly. I never seen an electron storm handled so well." "But nothing's solved. You heard what he said of the master." "We can't. Look, Biker. He follows the instructions of the master by means of dial, instrument, and graphy. That's all we ever followed. As a matter of fact, we account for his refusal to obey us. Obedience is the second law. No harm to human is the first. How can he keep the human from harm, whether he knows it or not? Why? By keeping the energy beam stable. He knows he can keep it more stable than we can, since he insists he's the superior being. So he must keep us out of the control room. It's inevitable for you. Consider the laws of robotics. Sure, but that's not the point. We can't let him continue this nitwit stuff among the master. Why not? Because whoever heard of such a damned thing? How are you going to trust him with the station? If he doesn't believe in us? Can he handle the station? Yes, but then what's the difference? What he believes? Pavel spread his arms outward with a vague smile upon his face, and tumbled backward onto the bed. He was asleep. Pavel was speaking while struggling into the right-rated space jacket. "I would have a simple job," he said. "You can bring the new QT models one by one, equip them with an automatic shut-off switch to act within the week, so as to allow them enough time to run the cult of the master from the prophet himself. Then switch them to another station and revitalize them. We could have 2 QTs per." Donovan's uncollapsed his glassite visor and scowled. "Shut up, and let's get out of here. Relief is waiting, and I won't feel right until I actually see us and feel the ground under my feet, just to make sure it's really there." The door opened as he spoke, and Donovan, with a smothered curse, clicked the visor and turned the sulky back upon QT. The robot approached softly, and there was sorrow in his voice. "You are going?" Pavel nodded quietly. "There will be others in our place." QT sighed, with the sound of wind humming through closely spaced wires. "Your term of service is over, and the time of dissolution is came. I expect it, but, well, the masters will be done." His tone of resignation stung Pavel. "Save the simplicity, QT. You are heading for us, not dissolution." "It's best than you think so." QT sighed again. "I see the wisdom of the illusion now. I would like to attempt to shake your face, even if I could. I would not attempt to shake your face, even if I could." He departed, the picture of commiseration. Pavel snarled and motioned to Donovan, sealed suitcase in hand, and headed for the airlock. The relief ship was on the outer landing, and Franz Müller, his relief man, greeted them with stiff courtesy. Donovan made scant acknowledgment and passed into the pilot room to take over the control from Sam Evans. Pavel lingered. "How's yours?" It was conventional enough to question, and Müller was the conventional answer. "Still spinning." Pavel said, "Good." Müller looked at them. The boys back at the US robot have dreamed of a new one. By the way, multiple robot. Or what? What I said, there's a big contract for you. It must be just a thing for asteroid mining. We have a master robot with 6 sub-robots under it, like your fingers. Has he been field tested? Asked Pavel anxiously. Miller smiled. Waiting for you, I hear. Pavel's fist balled. Damn it. We need a vacation. Oh, we'll get it. 2 weeks, I think. He was donning the heavy space gloves in preparation for his terms of duty here, and his thick eyebrows drew close together. How does this new robot getting along? It better be good, or I'll be damned if I let it touch the controls. Pavel paused before answering. His eyes swept the proud procession before him, from the close-cropped hair in the stony stubborn head to the feet standing stiff at attention, and there was a sudden glow of pure gladness surging through him. The robot is pretty good, he said slowly. I don't think we'll have to bother much with the controls. He grinned and went into the set. Muller would be here for several weeks.